Taylor here with Agri Drones. Let's talk about everything that I don't like about the EAVision J100. Why have I not done this yet? Why are all of our videos and content about everything that we do like? Well, largely most of what we don't like about the EAVision J100 is software based, and software is changing. We literally meet with the EAVision R&D team once a week, every week for the past month, about these types of issues, these types of software issues, and everything, almost everything that we've sent their way. They've given us a timeline, and by the time these drones get into service in April, May, June, July this summer, all the software will be changed. All the stuff we don't like will be changed. So I didn't feel like it was necessary to get into that, but you've asked, and I'm here to answer. On the hardware side, it's phenomenal hardware. J100 is phenomenal hardware, but there are a few things on the hardware side. It's like either we don't like, or it's different, or how is this going to work in comparison? So we've identified four things that overall I don't think we like, and what is our workaround going to be like? So let's get into this. So on the remote controller side, the RC, that's one of our hardware things. The remote controller is so similar to the Agri T50 remote controller. It's the same screen, it's the same processor, it's the same communication system and range. It's the same size, the same buttons, the same stick layout. But there's two things. The fit and finish of the DJI remote controller for the T50 and T40, it's nice. It just feels good. It looks good. It's clean. The covers for your peripherals are nice. It's just a very well-rounded, nice system as far as fit and finish. It's not like the J100 remote controller is cheap. It just doesn't look as high quality. And then there's the external battery. J100 does not have one. It has an 8+ hour battery life internally. DJI has an external battery and an internal battery. It's about a 3 hour internal, about a 3 hour, 4 hour external. I mean, it depends how you use it, basically. But you just swap the external battery out. So it makes it like a clean, well-rounded system on the DJI side for your battery management. So what are we doing? Well, it's not going to look, again, as good as the DJI system, but in terms of in-field operation, we think it might actually have some advantages. We're strapping a power bank, a big power bank to the back of the J100 remote on fields that, we need to be in more than 8 hours. And that power bank will give us another 8 hours of battery life. So we'll operate 16 hours without charging, plugging the drone or the remote into anything. That's what we're doing. Okay, Superlink. So what is a Superlink on the J100? It is an RTK plus a relay. On the XAG side, you've got RTK. There's no relay system, basically. There on the DJI side, you've got RTK tripod, just like the XAG. The DJI has kind of the same thing. But then you also have a relay station, right, on the DJI side. And so you can put those different places. Your RTK goes on a tripod, fixed location. Your relay station, that can go up on a 30-foot pole that's waving around up in the air. Or it can go on like a matrice drone, and it can hover like 100 foot up in the air. You can have two of them on them. Well, with the Superlink on the J100 system, it's combined. It's RTK and relay all in one system, which is great for convenience. Not great if you want to put your relay up on a 30-foot pole or up on another drone that's flying up in the air, 100 foot, and you also want to use the RTK side of it, because your RTK has to be fixed, right? A fixed one location. So, what are we doing about this? Well, there's not a lot you can do about it. We're using a heavier pole for the relay side of it. You can only put about, really one of these on like an M30T matrice and fly it up in the air if you want to use the relay. And so what we're doing is we're not going to use RTK on the RTK unit on the Superlink if we have to use it as a relay station. Who uses RTK? Very few people use RTK. And if you do, frankly, what we just use DigiFarm. DigiFarm's a great tool, or the Cores network. That's what we use, right? It works great. And we're hoping to test out, there's a 4G connection that you can do with the J100. We're hoping to test that out and see if that solves the relay question just in general. Okay, the CCMS nozzle. So that's our nozzle, spray nozzle. It's a very, very robust nozzle system on the J100, but it's so robust that they are very heavy. Like the nozzle itself, it's just a heavy nozzle. Is this bad? I don't know. But if you put 404 of them on there, it adds to the weight, right? And it can still spray a tank out, but it's heavy. I don't know if that's a drawback or not. The biggest drawback that I see here is just confusion on multiple configurations on the nozzle. You've got 3 different discs that you can do 4 different configurations of on a single. You can do one single nozzle. You've got 4 different configurations on that nozzle as far as your discs, and then you've got different locations that you can put your second set of nozzles on: front, back, where at on the back, and then you've also got 2 different types of mounting systems for your nozzles. You've got rubber type systems and you've got the hard plastics type systems with the quick connect that you've seen here. So there's a bunch of different configurations. And then you look at the droplet size spectrum. You go from 10 to 300 microns. Well, 300 is not big enough for some products. Now we know we can make 400 plus micron size on the J100 with the right nozzle configuration, but it doesn't say that we can make 400. So that's something that, frankly, there's a lot of confusion here. And what needs to happen, what we're working on, is a lot of testing to bring you guys a lot of information, so that you know, if I have this nozzle installed and have it in this location, then I'm going to get this droplet size and this swath width. It's just a lot of testing we have to do. And we're putting in a lot of work to make that happen, but it takes time, so bear with us. Okay, on the airframe. It's an extremely solid airframe. The only gripe I've got on it is it's harder to carry than the XAG P100 Pro. Between the T50 and the J100, it's about the same as far as carrying it. But that P100 Pro, you've got handles on top. You can pick the thing up very easily and carry it around the field, 30 yards away back to the truck. We don't carry these drones that often. We just don't. And when we do, we use a dolly. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to use a dolly. All right, let's get into the software. That's the biggest piece here that I want to unpack. Trying to make this video short, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Okay, so this is kind of the spreadsheet that we use with the R&D team at EAVision. And so you can see on here, the green's already been done. But let's run through a few of these here. Just so you guys have a very detailed understanding of what we're working on the software, what we don't like right now. Currently, the Superlink relay, if it dies, it has an 8-hour battery life, but if it does die while the drone's out there flying, it doesn't automatically reconnect. It's like the user has to click on a couple buttons on the software and then it reconnects. So they're going to, in March, make it reconnect automatically if it does die. It's a rare occasion, but it happens. We talk about this atomizer configuration management. We've got to do a lot of testing before they will change that, but they will change it in the system so that with X nozzle, you can get 400 and it'll say 400 microns or 500, whatever the case may be. Currently, right now, you on the EAVision system, if you are operating multiple drones in one field, or multiple drones for for one pilot, then you have to have multiple different logins. On the DJI side, you can have one login and log into 500 drones and operate them all at the same time. The EAVision system, each drone has to have a separate pilot login, essentially. So it means like a separate email, right? Fine if you got multiple pilots under one account, you can put them all under one account. They have to have multiple pilots, though. They'll be changing this mid-February. Multiple boundary passes, that's something that, like, look, they're straightforward. They're saying this is not supported. We're not going to do this. And that's fine, because we really don't need this, frankly. It's just something that Helio has. They call it the toilet bowl, where it sprays multiple consecutive boundary passes starting from the outside, working its way to the inside. Maybe they'll bring this. Not a big deal if they don't. And then duplicate custom flight routes. Again, not a big deal. They're waiting. We need to get special instruction about this. EAVision is the only company that has this, so not a big deal if we don't get, if we're not able to duplicate those, because EAVision is literally the only company, only software that has custom flight routes. Okay, now there are a few things here, and some of this is like safety, right, too. A lot of the things really that we don't like, some of the things we don't like, I should say, are like manual control and like safety kind of stuff. So whenever it's in manual mode, as of right now, like full manual mode, not like whenever you're flying it manually during autonomous mode, but whenever it's actually in full manual mode, doing manual spraying with it, you cannot hit the return to home button. It comes home whenever the battery gets low, or the tank runs out, but it does not come home like whenever you engage return to home. This is coming in April. Um, and then so these two here are pretty much the same thing. In-flight parameter adjustment and in-flight height manipulation. DJI system, you can manipulate the height while it's out there flying with the left stick, to where it goes up and then comes back down whenever you let go of the stick. And then on the parameters, you can, both the XAG and DJI system, you can change droplet size, height, and speed, and rate on the fly. As it's flying, you can change those in the system. It'll change it out there in the field. Can't do either of these with the J100 system as of right now. It has to be landed on the ground before you can change your parameters between flights. That's coming in April, at least by April. Okay, that stuff that's already been changed. Currently right now, DJI system, whenever you push the stick all the way down, and it senses the ground and it slows down and it will come to a nice soft landing. The EAVision system, when you turn your manual obstacle avoidance on for your horizontal, then it won't touch the ground at all. Like it stays whatever 6 feet over the ground at minimum, which is great. But you hit a button and you turn that horizontal obstacle avoidance off, and then you can like bounce it right into the ground. So you gotta bring that stick down easy whenever you get closer to the ground. Not a big deal if you've been flying a drone for more than a couple hours, but nevertheless, it needs to be taken into consideration. Coming mid-February, they'll be changing that. Okay, quick repair tab is really nothing that you guys should even be concerned about because, again, EAVision is the only company that has this. There's an intermittent ESC error that we've seen where like a couple of the nozzles haven't started up. It's been on 2 of the drones so far that we've tested out of not that many, frankly. So we're like, is this going to be continuing? Like, this is going to be a continuing issue? Is this hardware? Is it software? We don't know just yet. It's only been on 2 of the drones so far where like the nozzles don't start up and start spinning when I start spraying. But their team is evaluating this. So we'll know more soon. Okay, here we go. Another one here. The drone sprays at the home point. So what happens is when the J100 takes off autonomously, gets up to about 10 feet or so before it goes out to the field. It spins the nozzles up right then and there to get them ready once it gets to the field. However, when it does this, there's a little bit of liquid left on the nozzles, and it spurts it out right there at the home point, 10 feet high. No bueno, not good whenever you've got insecticide in there. So what they're changing, they're going to be changing this. I don't think they have it in this one here, but after we talked to them, they said what they're going to make it happen is they're going to make the nozzles won't spin up until it actually enters into the field boundary. Enters in the field boundary, then it spins up, and a little spurt of chemical will happen inside the boundary. And it's a small spurt, but still, I don't want to happen over home point. Okay, here we go. There's 2 things here. So when the drone loses connection, what happens, right? The DJI system, XAG system, you can define very precisely what's going to happen when the drone loses connection. Do you want it to hover? Do you want it to land? Do you want it to go up 10 feet? Do you want it to return to home? You want it to continue spraying? So right now, there's no great ways to change this in the EAVision system. If it loses connection during manual flight, it hovers for a minute and then it just returns to home. If it loses connection during autonomous flight, it just continues spraying until it runs out of payload, or if it's low on battery, then it comes home. So workable. However, I don't like that from a safety standpoint. I'd like to be able to change these, and we will be able to change these in March. They're bringing that software change in March. All right, last few things. We have not sent their way just yet, but we will. This is, we noticed a couple times, maybe 20% of the time, whenever the drone, like the flight efficiency side, it runs out a half mile away. And then it goes back to spraying on the close side of the field. Well, about 20% of the time, it flies back out a half mile away instead of going to the close side of the field. We don't know why. This is a software thing. So where they're looking into it, and we have sent this to them already, actually. I got to change this on here, and they will let us know. And then a couple of things on the safety side here. On the DJI side, if you spin the props up while they're on the ground and you don't take off, you can push the left stick down and it kills the props. Or you can push both sticks down and out and it kills the props. On the EAV side, you spin the props up by pushing the sticks down and in. You push and you don't take off, you push the left stick down, it won't kill the props. Only kills the props when you push both sticks down and out. This is easy changed to make. Critical low power manual override. So on the DJI side, again, if it hits critical low battery, meaning like it's landing, right? You're at 5%, 10%, whatever. It's coming down and it's landing. You can manually override that. You might not want to because it'll crash if you do it for too long, but you can manually override that to get it into a safe area, just a few seconds away for it to land safely. Can't do it on the EAVision system. Once it hits critical low battery, you've got no control. It's just going to land wherever it's at. So they'll be changing this. And then the beep before takeoff, XAG and DJI have this where there's a warning, a 3-second timer, and a beep before the drone spins the props up. J100 does not have this yet. It just spins up right as soon as you swipe right, it spins up. So they will be adding this once we let them know, and I'm sure it will be coming before April. There you go. That's everything that I don't like about the EAVision system, and then what EAVision or ourselves are doing to combat this. Like you see, the vast majority of this is software-based. And some of this software, and all this in the green, I didn't even talk about because it's already been changed. So as long as EAVision comes through on their promises to change these, like they said they will here, then it won't matter. Software will be so similar to the DJI system that a DJI user can pick up literally just transfer one thing to the next and you're good to go. And same thing on the XAG side. If you run XAG, well, the DJI side is just way easier anyways. And the EAVision side will have this really good hardware and will have great software too with better range than the XAG system. So if you guys have questions about this, I'm an open book here. So let us know. Send in your question. Be glad to answer them for you. If you want to see more detailed information, this is only a less than 20-minute video here. Our demos last for hours, and we talk about all this stuff in the demos. So please let us know. Be glad to help you out and make a good decision for spraying season 2025. See you.